been a good 3 weeks now since Duncan had got his medal, but it was still boastful and showing off about it. Morning at the sheds, Duncan and Zahandle were alone talking, and then they set up their massive robot called, would you shut up? Zahandle said rudely. I've had enough of you and your crummy medal. You know what I think about your medal? I think you can go and shove it up your mouth. I'm sick and tired of hearing about that stupid thing. Oh, how dare you say that about my medal? You're just jealous. Why me? Because at least my fame's actually good. As for you and your steamroll incident, and so the two engines broke out into a massive fight.
That medal.
I know you got that medal fair and square from the police academy. I don't care Scarlet. Scarlet is so old, and I'm very fair.
It's fair and square.
Still fair. I got that medal fair and square. You have no right to take away.
But I didn't post about the Joel Steamroller thing.
And I'm sick and tired of it.
What you coming down there? A voice came from the back of the shed. Grandpuff. Yeah, it's me, you two scallywags. You didn't quiet down and try to sleep here. Sorry. What is up with him? I don't know. Ever since he's kind of come out of that shed after being found, he's kind of been a bit sleepy. Always breaking down and, being so old and all that. I heard that, Duke said from the back of the shed. Anyways, that's why he doesn't come out lately. Well, we'll continue this later, Zahandle said as he left to go to a station. So I'll see you later, Zahandle told Duncan as he left. Okay, bye, and remember, later. Zahandle soon reached the second station along the line. Then all suddenly a fast yellow car came out of nowhere. It was recklessly driving everywhere and narrowly missed the signal box by the station. Who was that? Zahandle asked when the dangerous car was out of sight. Richard, his driver said sympathetically. Who on earth is Richard? Zahandle questioned. He's a car of one of the richest families in Sodor, the Smiths. I think they should really do something about that car. It runs amok, it feels like it doesn't even have a driver. Oh, they drive it all right. They think they can do anything because they're the poshest family. Well, someone should stop it. They're a menace to society, if I asked you. Really broke down that signal box. Well, we can't do anything. They'll sue us, and they've got a lot of really good lawyers on their side. Anyway, we don't have time to worry about that. We've got our passengers. And then, so the guards whistle blew, and the Zahandle set off along the line to Glenlock. Later that evening, Zahandle soon came back to the shed in a bad mood. "Oh, what's up, Zahandle?" Bertram wondered. "What's on your chest?" And Zahandle burst open right then. "It's that stupid car that the Smiths own. They nearly took out the signal box nearby the second station. You mean Cass, and I don't care what the name is. They're a menace. They're a menace to the railway and everyone else on the roads. And guess what? We can't do anything about it. Another thing, why haven't I ever seen or encountered this thing from hell before? Well, they only recently got it. Ugh. Anyway, someone has to do something about it, and wait. And, well, it's just not fair. I guess so. What you keeping down there and trying to sleep, Grandpuff? Yes, you've done it again. I've been trying to sleep ever since you left. You've been sleeping there ever since I left? Of course. What do you expect? I'm 100 years old. Well, no time to worry about when you sleep or whatever. We have to do something about that car. Well, it's actually good. Why would that be good? Well, sometime him and Duncan are going to cross paths, and let's just say, well, he'll learn this lesson after that. Oh, come on. Anyways, that's really your plan. You could have done better. Well, you agreed with us at the time. That's because I didn't know how much a devil this car was. I told you to keep it down there. Duke complained. Anyways, I don't have anything to do with this, Sandal said angrily. Anyways, would you rather enjoy hearing Duncan's fibs, or rather see Duncan get thrashed by the Smith's car? To tell the truth, I'd rather go with maybe B. Yeah, exactly. A few days later, Duncan was taking some sleigh trucks up from the quarry. Ugh, he grumbled. Why can't I take some nice shiny cultures? Where's my publicity gone? He said. Why now, of course, all of his fans and his fan club are worn off. Now everyone was waiting for if they had any details about the drug smuggling scandal. Then all of a sudden, the Smith's yellow car came out of nowhere, speeding along the road. It raced by Duncan, and stones flew everywhere. Hey, watch the paintwork, Duncan fumed. All of a sudden, the yellow car went straight onto the tracks. Duncan applied his brakes and stopped just before the car. No one speaks to me like that, he said indignantly. Oh, get out of my way. I need to deliver these thorns. Well, you apologize first. Well, I'm not apologizing. You reckless little thing, Duncan replied angrily. Anyways, I'm not moving. You don't speak to a 5-star luxury car like that. Oh, I don't care how many stars you have. All you are is a little spoiled brat, Duncan fumed. Oh, well, how rude. Oh, anyway, at least I'm efficient and way more faster than you clunking piece of steam. You used the revolutionary back in the 1960s, and that was 20 years ago. Now us cars and lorries are so much more modern. Oh, us engines can be fast. I'm the one who caught those crooks and got that medal. Oh, really then? Anyway, how about a little race then? He asked. Okay then, Duncan said, and they raced off. Duncan was racing along the line quickly and thought he might win this easily, with the car towing way behind him. The car was quickly catching up with him. By the time they reached Scarlet Station, they were each gaining on each other. Eventually, Richard turned onto one of the roads that left the railway. Good riddance, now he's gone, and I can get back to concentrating on getting on the race, Duncan cheered. Richard sped along the roads, narrowly missing objects. Duncan soon reached Renee station. The signal before him was against him. Come on, he said, move! He should have learned that he couldn't do this by now, after the chase. But eventually, the signal went up, and Duncan raced off. Richard sped through the narrow village streets. As for Duncan's trucks, they were not liking this one bit. Slow down! We don't like this! Never! Duncan laughed. Richard soon came close to the railway. He was on a road that was on top of a hill, and through the trees you could see Duncan, how he was going very fast. Ugh,
The only way to stop, we need to get closer to him, his driver said. And so Richard drove down the embankment and onto the railway line. As Duncan was going along the line, Richard came out of nowhere and he crashed into the back of him. A smartly dressed man stepped out of Richard, who was now moaning and groaning. This must have been Mr. Smith. "Look at what you've done to my new 5-star luxury car. I'll sue your railway, not unless I'll sue first," Duncan said as he left. What? You leave me? Well, what am I going to do? That's your problem, Duncan yelled as he left. About 15 minutes later, the police showed up. Mr. Smith told them all about his story and what had happened, and after a bit of investigating, it turns out that Duncan's side was more believable than Mr. Smith's. So, Mr. Smith's driver's license was suspended, and he was also charged with $10 million of repairs and bills. And what about poor old Richard? Well, he was left by the track for a good 4 days until he was towed away to the emergency service centre for cars, or repair centre for cars. He was left there for a month until Mr. Smith's would be allowed to drive him again. In that time, Mr. Smith still hates the railway for that, and he still hasn't ever forgiven them for what he did, making him pay $10 million. He never actually did getting around suing the railway because, well, let's just say he kind of lost most of his fortune and wasn't the richest family anymore.